Earthquakes are one of the most destructive natural forces on the planet, especially in countries like Japan, where seismic activity is a part of everyday life. Over the years, Japan has become a global leader in earthquake-resistant architecture. But one startup has taken innovation to the next level, literally lifting homes off the ground when an earthquake strikes. Meet Danshin Systems Inc., a Japanese startup that's been quietly developing one of the most fascinating solutions to earthquake damage since 2005. Their idea is bold, almost sci-fi. What if a house could float during an earthquake, avoiding the violent shaking that usually causes catastrophic damage? The principle is surprisingly simple, but incredibly clever. The system uses a high-speed earthquake detection sensor combined with a powerful air compressor installed outside the home. The moment seismic activity is detected, within just half a second, the compressor springs into action, pumping highly pressurized air into a reinforced membrane under the house. This sudden blast of air lifts the entire building about 3 centimeters, or roughly 1.2 inches, off the ground. During this time, the house literally hovers, preventing the brutal ground vibrations from transferring to the structure. Once the shaking stops, the air is slowly released, and the house gently lowers back onto its foundation. You know, it might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but this tech has already been tested in real-world scenarios. One of the most powerful demonstrations actually came during the 2021 Fukushima earthquake, which measured a staggering 7.3 on the Richter scale. At that time, 30 houses equipped with the Danshin system were monitored, and none of them suffered any structural damage. That's not just impressive, it's honestly groundbreaking. Traditional earthquake-proofing methods like base isolation or shock-absorbing foundations work by reducing the impact of ground motion. But Danshin's method, well, it kind of bypasses the problem altogether. Instead of resisting the force, it actually avoids it. That change in philosophy could really revolutionize how we think about protecting infrastructure in seismic zones. Another remarkable thing is that this system doesn't require a complete rebuild. It can actually be retrofitted to existing homes, making it accessible for a wider population. The installation typically involves creating a shallow basement or cavity beneath the house where the airbag system and sensors are integrated. So what's the cost? As of the latest reports, installing the Danshin system on a typical Japanese home costs about 5 to 7 million yen, roughly 33,000 to 47,000 US dollars. While that may seem steep, it's a fraction of the potential cost of rebuilding after a major quake, not to mention the value of human lives it could protect. In a country where over 2,000 earthquakes are recorded each year, technologies like this aren't just cool, they're essential. And it's not just Japan that's watching. With rising interest from earthquake-prone regions like California, Chile, and Turkey, the Danshin system may soon be exported worldwide. Of course, no technology is perfect. Some critics point to the limited vertical lift, just 3 centimeters, as a potential limitation in major quakes. Others question how the system might perform on uneven terrain or with larger structures. But so far, field data has been promising, and the company continues to test and refine the technology. In the future, we might see entire neighborhoods that can take off for a few seconds when the earth rumbles. Floating homes may sound like a futuristic dream, but in Japan, they're becoming a reality. It's yet another example of how necessity and innovation go hand in hand and how Japanese engineering continues to amaze the world.